You know, back when I was a kid, when shit seemed to make sense, you had boy sports and girl sports. Men and women didn't play in intergender sports. Men didn't play in women's sports, women didn't play in men's sports. Okay? As of late, there's been a lot of transsexual men that want to identify as women, even though they're biochemically a man, that's been playing in women's sports, especially in high school and at the college level. We have seen transgender women come out in wrestling, and they've been competing in the women division in wrestling. Okay? And listen, there's nothing wrong with being gay or expressing how you feel. But there's a fine line in just taking advantage of the system. Okay? Man, I don't care how much estrogen you try to take to lower your testosterone. As a man, in your DNA structure, you are biochemically, genetic. Just listen up, Greg. This is where genetics matters. Genetically speaking, you're going to always be stronger than the actual woman, faster than the average woman. You're going to have the advantages because of the way your insertions of your bones, the average height of a man, the average muscle structure of a man, the average testosterone. Even though you can take all the estrogen in the world to try to lower that, guess what? Estrogen and testosterone bind together. Even though you're trying to take it to cut your testosterone down, or whatever y'all trying to do to suppress your testosterone production in your nuts, you're always going to produce more testosterone than the average woman. Okay? This is why gay men, when they try to limit their testosterone, they have an issue. They become very feminine because testosterone is a byproduct of aggression. Okay? Muscle tone and the manly voice, the facial hair, all that shit is a byproduct of testosterone. Okay? But you're always going to have the advantage of being born a male. I don't care if you mutilate your dick, cut it off, just waste sausage. You know, all these women out here, y'all trying to replace actual women, the birth givers, people that had to carry you for 9 months in their uterus. I'm a quote Cotton Hill. I was in the uterus. In the uterus. Cut my way out of the uterus, Hank. Out of the uterus. Birthed myself. Goddamn Cotton Hill. That was King Hill used to be a classic. Can't wait for the spinoff. But your mama had to carry you for 9 months, and then now y'all want to replace women? Women. Now, this shit wouldn't be taken off as fast as it is if more women speak up against it. And there should be laws. I think transgenders should have their own sport, their own class of sports, because it's not fair for women athletes to be embarrassed at track and field day or in basketball or even in flag football. Women wrestling, it's like South Park did an excellent skit with the vice principal, the vice principal, right? The PC principal's girlfriend. When the Macho Man skit, right? Her ex-boyfriend became a transgender and did it because he wanted to embarrass women because he was turned down, or you know, the vice principal left him, whatever, right? So the point I'm trying to make is, it's like you can't hack it as a man. So you want to be a transgender, or you was born gay and you want to be the thing that you hate. You don't want to fuck a woman, but you want to be a woman. Or you feel like I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. What that stupid psychological shit. More on that in a second. Just to try to one up a woman. If you think that impresses us straight men, we find that fucking weak. When you have to compete in a sport that you know you have the advantage in to try to make it seem like, oh, we're better than the average woman. You a man. No matter what you do, you are a man. Some of y'all get this thought in your head that because you went and had boob implants, ass job, and you spent all this money to try to look like a woman, that you are a woman, or that you are feminine like a woman, that us men had to accept you. No matter what you do, you are always gonna be a man. You can have the most extreme makeover in the world, look gorgeous as shit. But I remember when you was Brad. I can't call you Brittany. I just can't. Because that's a mockery to real women. And when women try to become studs and try to take over the man's role, when Brittany try to become Brett, I'm sorry. I'm not going to ever call you Brett. I don't give a fuck how much testosterone you take to try to shrink your boobs and grow facial hair and shit. You're going to always be Brittany to me. Because you was born a fucking woman. No matter what you do, you can try to get a fake dick attached to you. A one made. You still want to produce sperm. You got to go to a sperm bank to get it, to impregnate your goddamn girlfriend. I think if you're going to be gay, it's okay to be gay. Just stay in your own lane. As a guy, I find it very disrespectful for a man to try to take a woman's role and a woman to try to take a man's role. When a stud, I used to watch Jerry Springer all the time, RP Jerry Springer. When I see them studs on there talking about they can do women better than what a real man can, and can't even deal with the normal amount of stress that a real man has to deal with in this world, especially now in this day and age. They crumble under fucking pressure, and then they wonder why the women leave them to go be with a man. You can't replace man. It's like a nut in a boat. That's why this is the female end, this is the male end. They go together. Do I love lesbians? Oh, I love that women on women shit. Yes, I do. But that I'm gonna be a stud and I'm gonna look like a man, and then you can never replace me. We have real dicks and balls for a reason. Yeah. It's to impregnate. Men are alpha for a reason. Well, every man isn't, especially this day and age, because of social media. But real men are alpha for a reason. We take charge. We lead. We deal with responsibilities. We don't put it all on everyone else and make excuses. If I fucked up, I fucked up. My wife depends on me. Even though she works, she still depends on me. And I depend on her. We're a team. My kids, they look at me as their daddy. I need to raise them right, to do the right thing. Especially my son, he has autism. He needs more guidance than anything. My daughter just loves being around me because I spoiled her as a baby. But I'm teaching her what a real man should look like and act like. Cut grass, he take care of mommy, take care of the kids, he cooks, he cleans. He don't complain. He's a health nut, he's in shape. Teach you some manners. Respect your elders. Yes, I curse a lot. But around my kids, I change my language barrier just a little bit. I'm still stern, but on this camera, this is just me being myself. At the end of the day, you can't replace me. And when it comes down to sports, I think transgender should have their own category of fucking sports. Period. And all this, I was born this way, you weren't born this way. There's this thing called the internet now. And when young kids see things now, they're easily influenced. There are a lot of things that have been put on TV that we would have never seen 20 years ago that can influence your young kids. It'll fuck their minds up. That's what I'm getting at. See, all this, oh, I was born this way. You weren't born this way. Don't no kid come out the uterus knowing what he or she likes. It's as they age. And they start to get exposed to things. They start to play house at young ages, right? And they start to touch and feel, you know, that mannish shit kick in, right? If you always around girls at a young age and that's all you're going to be around as a girl, 9 times out of 10, you'll probably grow up liking girls. You didn't mingle with boys. If boys grow up and 9 times out of 10, all they hung around was the fellas all the time, 9 times out of 10, they probably grow up liking men. But if they grow up normally, interact with men and women, right? They might grow up normal. They might not The boy might like the girl, and the girl might like the boy type shit. That's normally what normally happens. You know, if they grew up in the same sex household where both parents are the same gender, then 9 times out of 10, the child's gonna be like they parents. It's a lot that goes into that, but it starts at a very young age. That's what it starts as. If you give your son Barbie dolls at a young age and let them play with dolls, if your son start grabbing girl toys, you know, because they see the girls playing with toys and the man don't step in and say, hey, no, that's for girls. You are a boy, to tell them the difference, right? Then guess what? That boy gonna grow up want to be like a girl. Same with women. If your daughter is playing with man shit all the time, then she might grow up tomboyish and 9 times out of 10 end up wanting to be a man instead of a woman. So it's about knowing and what you expose the youth to. Now we have social media. Every kid has a cell phone. Every kid has access. That's why on my kids' devices, it's child proof. They watch the appropriate shit for their ages. Period. Because I want my kids exposed to that shit until they get old enough to understand the difference. And then once they get grown and they can make their own decisions, and then they get exposed to it at that point in time, because they got all the free time in the world, they grow, I can't tell them to do, and then they decide they want to be that way. Guess what? As a parent, I'm going to support my child. They like what they like. I did all I can do. I'm not going to hate them. But, however, if my son decided he wants to become a woman, I'm going to have a little problem with that, because you're not a woman. Just be a gay man. And if my daughter decides that she wants to become a man, I'm going to have a problem with that. You're a gay woman. Just be a woman. Period. Be a woman like women. My son be a man like men. I pray that day never comes, but if it does, as a parent, my job is to support them and guide them. But tell them this is what daddy crossed the line. You know, this is what, because my son can't replace his mama. My wife is a woman for a reason, and my daughter can't replace men. I'm a man for a reason. So I'm trying my best as a parent to raise them right. And once they get grown, they decide that they want to make their own decisions. At that point in time, I can't control what they do. But I can still voice my opinion on shit. And that's what this video is about. It's not to say I hate gays, because I don't. I got like 9 gay folks in my family. I don't. But at the end of the fucking day, women trying to compete, men competing in women's sports, it needs to stop. Transgender competing in women's sports, it needs to stop. Period. It's embarrassing. You can't even go to a high school and watch a regular girls basketball game nowadays without seeing some transgender male in there taking advantage of the system. It's just like the cheerleaders in the NFL. I live in Atlanta. It's like the second gayest city in America. All right. But I like the diverse culture out here. I've been coming to Georgia since I was a little kid, and I like the diversion out here. I remember coming out here to Freaknik. You should sneak out here and see Freaknik. But at the end of the day, that still don't justify male cheerleaders cheerleading with the female cheerleaders. When I was a kid, it was just a girl thing. I don't want to watch males dance with the girls. So now when the Falcon cheerleaders come out on the field, I don't even look at them, because I can't. I don't want to. I want to look at the female. I don't want to watch 2 or 3 males out there that think they're women popping their fucking asses. Sorry. That's just facts. If they want, if the NFL wants to include that, they need to have a show for the women cheerleaders. And then I can watch the women do their thing, and then they need to have a time slot for the male cheerleaders. And then the what if crowd that likes that shit can look at that shit. I will excuse myself until that show's over with. I'm a guy. I want to look at women. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So that's my take on all of this. I know it's not the most popular thing to talk about, and I understand some people probably be pissed off about it, but it's just the truth. I'm just speaking the facts. It's not fair for women to be done like that, especially at high school and college level. It's not. It's not fair for those athletes that's been trying to do the right thing to impress their parents. It's like my daughter will play soccer this upcoming school year. first sporting thing she wants to do. I'm going to feel some type of way if there's a little boy that wants to be a transgender at 8 years old that wants to play soccer with my daughter. Why is that? He's a boy. He might be 8, but guess what? He's going to kick harder. It's things he can do that my daughter can't do. Of course, I'm training her to be strong, but an 8-year-old boy is naturally stronger than an 8-year-old girl. That's just facts. So, you know, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been watching from Matner. I'm out, everyone. Peace.